You'll pay for your crimes against humanity!
Your hair. Didn't you know? Todd's vegan.
Vegan?
It's not really that big of a deal.
No kidding. Anyone can be vegan.
Ovo-lacto-vegetarian, maybe.
Over what?
I partake not in the meat, nor the breast milk, nor the ovum of any creature with a face.
Short answer, being vegan just makes you better than most people.
Bingo.
So that was from Scott Pilgrim, if you didn't know. I've always made fun of vegans just for, you know, the sake of it, because I'm that kind of person. And I never actually encountered a vegan. I think the closest I ever came, up until recently, was when I went to Pieology, which is a pizza restaurant. I guess it's in LA. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting name for a pizza joint. So I went in and ordered food. And little did I know that it was a vegan restaurant. Or my understanding of it was a vegan restaurant. So when I was placing my order and I realized everything was like artificial, and I was kind of like, oh no. So I fucking dipped. Flash forward up until just a couple days ago, I found this girl on YouTube and I liked her singing covers, so I decided to subscribe. And I eventually decided, like, you know what, hey, she's kind of cool, so I followed her on Instagram. And I don't normally do that because I don't really like Instagram. But I decided to do it anyways because I was like, hey, she's a small YouTube channel. I'm a small YouTube channel. That could kind of be cool, you know? The problem is, all of this, like, everything this girl would post was just vegan shit. Vegan propaganda, blah, 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 vegan, vegan, vegan. And I got tired of it. But I was very polite with her, mind you. Now, that is a big deal for me. I'm not normally that kind of person, especially people who are like this. It's very clear to me that they would be an easy target for harassment or being bullied or whatever, and that's something I would do. I can't really help myself. It just kind of happens. I'm one of those people, as you know, you probably already know. I'm not shy or embarrassed of it. I'm pretty open about the things I do. You know, the horrible atrocities to mankind that are like not as bad as me eating McNuggets from Carl's Jr., apparently. So what happened was I ended up sharing this image with her. And I was just kind of like, this is kind of ungodly, don't you think? And I was just being kind of funny with it. I didn't understand what kind of hellstorm I unleashed upon myself. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this ungodly photo. But I basically opened up Pandora's box of hell, destruction, chaos, self-loathing, hatred, just fucking purest of hatred. And I got told every reason why I'm a terrible fucking person because I choose to eat chicken strips. And this fucking girl, you know what, just fuck it. Like, she got under my skin. She got under my skin in a way that I wasn't angry. I was just more of like, you're being utterly fucking ridiculous. So this fucking bitch had the audacity to tell me why I'm a terrible person because I like to use like specific kinds of soap. I like to eat gelatin candy, which I don't really eat candy that often, but you know, my fucking God, I eat Rice Krispie treats. I am the worst fucking thing since Hitler. And she's telling me like how they fist baby cows and that's where your steak comes from. And I'm like, yeah, baby cows are good. Or she'd tell me like human beings started off as herbivores. And I said, I could see why you would think that, but I don't know if you knew this or not, but apes also eat meat. You just probably didn't know that. Yeah, obviously they eat like fucking plants and berries and shit, but they do eat insects. They have been known to eat small animals. Like, it's not out there or whatever. You know, they're omnivores, kind of like, you know, like pigs, turtles, bears. And she was telling me like, oh, that's why her teeth are shaped a specific way. And I'm like, I don't think you understand. we have canine teeth. See, we got 2 canine teeth. On top of that, our front teeth are kind of flat or whatever for like biting into meat, and we have back teeth that are meant for grinding, kind of like when you grind plants if you're a herbivore. So we're very clearly omnivores. She was just telling me like you can't possibly love animals if you eat meat, and I'm like, that's not true. I had multiple dogs. I love dogs. I had turtles. I've had pythons. I had an alligator once for a couple days. I've had rats. I've had a parrot. My dad had monkeys. My dad had a raccoon. You know, like, I like animals. I do. I'm not one of those people who just absolutely doesn't like animals. I don't know who doesn't like animals. You know, I'm a very big dog lover. I love dogs. But apparently that's an impossible feat for someone like me to accomplish, because once again, I like Big Macs or Whoppers or just shit like that. And I won't eat tofu. And, you know, apparently this is natural. This fucking picture is 100% natural. There's nothing wrong with turning leaves into meat. She said it's not ungodly. And I'm like, it's pretty ungodly. Like, I'm not a religious man. I don't give a fuck about religion. But if you're going to convert something that God supposedly created to something else, it's going against God's image. That is bad. I never had an issue with vegans, and now I absolutely hate them. Now, when I say I didn't have an issue with them, it's more of like I knew they existed. I just never met one. Well, now I met one. So, you know, mind you, too, this girl was kind of cute. Maybe that's why I decided to, like, hang around her channel or whatever. Like, obviously not try to flirt with her or anything like that, because I'm in a relationship, she's in a relationship. But it's just like that primal guy thing, you know? It's like, oh, this girl's cute, gotta follow her or whatever. And I decided to, like, look through her profile a little bit. And, you know, of course, all it is just a bunch of vegan shit. And then I see her boyfriend, so I'm like, okay, so I'll look at her boyfriend's profile, too. And you know how I could tell this motherfucker was a vegan? He had a rope holding up his pants. Because, you know, they can't wear leather belts. But he had a rope holding up his pants, and I was just kind of like, this is real. This is a real person. Like, in her YouTube videos, she has money. Like, her house is pretty nice, so it's not like you can't afford a belt. But you had a rope. Like a potato, not even a good-looking rope either. It was like a potato sack rope. And, you know, these people think they're better than you, and they're not. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with eating meat. I like meat. You're not brainwashed for liking meat. Because she tried telling me I was brainwashed, and I was like, who brainwashed me? Like, because if nobody knew this, I mean, some people who watch my channel do know this. I didn't grow up eating food like how normal people would grow up eating food. You know what my diet consisted of? Flavorless popcorn, the occasional baked potato if we had one, and I ate chocolate Hershey Kisses that would go in like a chocolate cake or whatever out of my mom's pantry, because we never had food growing up. And I stole apples from people in high school. Like, on every lunch, when somebody had an apple, if they weren't looking, I would just scoop up their apple and throw it in my backpack, because I'd never had, like, money for food. I was a very underweight, skinny, scrawny, starving child. And nobody brainwashed me into wanting to eat meat. I just started eating hamburgers fairly recently. I've always just been a chicken kind of guy, and I like chicken. I mean, who doesn't like chicken, apart from vegans? Chicken's, you know, a very delicious thing. It's a very delicious food. It's probably like one of the most popular meats, if not the most popular. I would argue and say beef, but chicken's definitely, probably, you know, past that. Fish too, I guess. I never had fish. I don't know, man. I don't like vegans, and this is now my exit from ever wanting to be friendly with vegans again. I know I've seen that Jubilee video. I think I reacted to that too. I don't really remember. It's been a long time on YouTube. Where it was like, guess who's not the vegan? And there was this one bitch who was like the most obnoxious fucking person. The girl I talked to on Instagram would probably be twice as bad as that girl. If you understand who I'm referring to, this girl was bad. Like, I had paragraphs out the goddamn ass. And normally I would just go like, I see you have some anxiety issues. Let me help you with that. But I didn't actually engage with being a dick with her, and she was being the aggressor very clearly, and I think that's kind of funny because normally I would be the aggressor in these situations. But I wasn't this one time, when I definitely should have been. So I will not hold back ever again on a vegan. You tell me I'm a terrible person, I'm going to show you pictures and images of baby cows. This is war. I'm going to war with veganism. So, yeah. Anyways, if you guys agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me and think I'm a terrible person, what else is new? I will see everybody in the next video. Have a good night. Goodbye.
Being vegan just makes you better than most people.
Bingo.